Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to another reading of the Bible. We are in 2 Kings chapter 7. I attempted to do 6, 7, and 8 previous video, but tonight I'm going to try to attempt to do both chapter 7 and 8 of 2 Kings. 2 Kings. So here we go. Then Elisha said, "Hear ye the word of the Lord. Thus saith the Lord, tomorrow about this time shall a measure of fine flour be sold for a shekel, and 2 measures of barley for a shekel, in the gate of Samaria." Then the Lord, on whose hand the king leaned, then a Lord, on whose hand the king leaned, answered the man of God, Elisha, saying, "Behold, if the Lord would make windows in heaven, might this thing be?" And Elisha said, "Behold, thou shalt see it with thine eyes, but shalt not eat thereof." There were 4 leprous men at the entering in of the gate. And they said one to another, "Why sit we here until we die? If we say we will enter into the city, then a famine is in the city, and we shall die there. And if we sit here, we die also. Now therefore come, and let us fall unto the host of the Syrians. If they save us alive, we shall live. And if they kill us, we shall but die. They arose in the twilight, and to go unto the camp of the camp of the Syrians. And when they were come to the uttermost part of the camp of Syria, behold, there was no man there. For the Lord had made the host of the Syrians to hear a noise of chariots and a noise of horses, even the noise of a great host. And they said one to another, Lo, the king of Israel hath hired against us the kings of the Hittites and the kings of the Egyptians to come upon us. Wherefore they arose and fled in the twilight, and left their tents and their horses and their donkeys, even the camp as it was, and fled for their lives. When these lepers came to the uttermost part of the camp, they went into one tent, and did eat and drink, and carried thence silver, gold, raiment, and went and hid it, and came again and entered into another tent, and carried thence also, and went and hid it. And then they said one to another, We do not do well. This day is a day of good tidings. We do not well. That's interesting. This day is a day of good tidings, and we hold our peace. If we tarry till the morning light, some mischief will come upon us. Now therefore, let me turn the page here, if I can. Whoops. Oh, I can't turn the page. Now therefore come, that we may go and tell the king's household. So they came and called unto the porter of the city, and they told them, saying, We came to the camp of the Syrians, and behold, there was no man there, neither a voice of man, but horses tied and donkeys tied, and the tents as they were. Excuse me. He called the porters, and they told it to the king's house within. The king arose in the night and said unto his servants, I will now show you what the Syrians have done to us. They know that we be hungry, therefore are they gone out of the camp to hide themselves in the field, saying, When they come out of the city, we shall catch them alive, and get into the city. One of his servants answered, saying, Let some take, I pray thee, 5 of the horses that remain, which are left in the city. Behold, they are as all the multitude of Israel that are left in it. Behold, I say, there are even as all the multitude of the Israelites who are consumed. And they let us send and see. Okay, part of it was in parentheses. Verse 14, they took therefore 2 chariot horses, and the king sent after the host of the Syrians, saying, Go and see. They went after them unto Jordan, and lo, all the way was full of garments and vessels which the Syrians had cast away in their haste. And the messengers returned and told the king. The people went out and spoiled the tents of the Syrians. So a measure of fine flour was sold as for a shekel, and 2 measures of barley for a shekel, according to the word of the Lord. The king appointed the Lord, small L there, the Lord on whose hand he leaned, to have the charge of the gate, and the people trod, I'm not sure, trod upon him in the gate, and he died. So they stepped over him, or stepped on him, as the man of God had said, who spake when the king came down to him. It came to pass, as the man of God had spoken to the king, that's Elisha, saying, 2 measures of barley for a shekel, and a measure of fine flour for a shekel, shall be tomorrow about this time in the gate of Samaria. That Lord, small L, answered the man of God Elisha, saying, Now, behold, if the Lord should make, the Lord, that's God, if the Lord should make windows in heaven, might such a thing be? And Elisha said, Behold, thou shalt see it with thine eyes, but shalt not eat thereof. So it fell out unto him, for the people trod upon him in the gate, and he died. So a Lord died. So it looks like 2 lords. So it looks like 2 lords died. Interesting. Oh no, chapter 8. Then spake Elisha unto the woman, whose son he had restored to life, Arise and go thou in thine household, and sojourn wheresoever thou canst sojourn. For the Lord hath called for famine, and it shall also excuse me. The Lord has called for famine, and that shall also come upon the land 7 years. The woman arose and did after the saying of the man of God Elisha, and she went with her household and sojourned in the land of the Philistines 7 years. It came to pass at the 7 years' end that the woman returned out of the land of the Philistines, and she went forth to cry unto the king for her house and for her land. The king talked with Gehazi, the servant of the man of God, saying, Tell me, I pray thee, all great things that Elisha has done. It came to pass, as he was telling the king how he had restored a dead body to life, that behold, the woman whose son he had restored to life cried to the king for her house and for her land. Gehazi said, My lord, O king, this is the woman, and this is her son, whom Elisha restored to life. When the king asked the woman, who she told him. So the king appointed unto her a certain officer, saying, Restore all that was hers, and all the fruits of the field since the day that she left the land, even until now. Elisha came to Damascus in Syria, and Ben-Hadad, the king of Syria, was sick. And it was told him, saying, The man of God is come hither. The king said, Ben-Hadad said unto Hazael, Take a present in thine hand, and go, meet the man of God, and inquire of the Lord by him, saying, Shall he recover of this disease? So Hazael went to meet him, Elisha, and took a present with him, even of every good thing of Damascus, 40 camels burdened, and came and stood before him, and said, saying, Thy son Ben-Hadad, king of Syria, hath sent me to thee, saying, Shall I recover from this disease? Elisha said unto him, Hazael, Go and say unto him, Thou mayest certainly recover. Howbeit the Lord hath showed me that he shall surely die. He settled his countenance steadfastly until he was ashamed, and the man of God wept. Hazael said, Why weepest thou, my Lord? Why weepest thou, my Lord? Elisha said, answered, Because I know the evil that thou wilt do unto the children of Israel. Their strongholds wilt thou set on fire, and their young men wilt thou slay with the sword. and wilt dash their children, and rip up their women with child. Ouch. Hazael said, but what? Is thy servant a dog that he should do this great thing? And Elisha answered, the Lord hath showed me that thou shalt be king. Hazael should be king over Syria. So he departed from Elisha and came to his master, who said to him, what said Elisha to thee? And he answered, he told me that thou shouldest surely recover. It came to pass on the morrow that he took a thick cloth, dipped it in water, and spread it on his face so that he died. And Hazael killed the king. And Hazael reigned in his stead. In the 5th year of Joram, the son of Ahab, king of Israel, Jehoshaphat, being then king of Judah, Jehoram, the son of Jehoshaphat, king of Judah, began to reign. 32 years old was he when he began to reign, and he reigned 8 years in Jerusalem. He walked in the way of the kings of Israel, as did the sons of Ahab. For the daughter of Ahab was his wife, and he did evil in the sight of the Lord. 5th year of Joram, the son of Ahab, king of Israel, Jehoshaphat being then king of Judah. Jehoram the son, okay, so Jehoram had Ahab's daughter as a wife, okay. Yet the Lord, in verse 19, yet the Lord would not destroy Judah for David his servant's sake, as he promised him to give him always a light and to his children. In his days, Edom revolted from under the hand of Judah and made a king over themselves. So Joram went over to Zaire, and all the chariots with him, and he arose by night and smote the Edomites, who compassed him all about. And the captains, of the chariots, and the people fled into their tents. Yet Edom revolted from under the hand of Judah unto this day. Then Libnah revolted at the same time. The rest of the acts of Joram, and all that he did, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the Kings of Judah? Joram slept with his fathers and was buried with his fathers in the city of David, and Ahaziah, his son, reigned in his stead. In the 12th year of Joram, the son of Ahab, king of Israel, did Ahaziah, the son of Joram, king of Judah, begin to reign. 22 years old was Ahaziah when he began to reign, and he reigned 1 year in Jerusalem. His mother's name was Athaliah, the daughter of Omri, king of Israel. He walked in the way of the house of Ahab and did evil in the sight of the Lord, as did the house of Ahab, for he was the son-in-law of the house of Ahab. He went with Joram, the son of Ahab, to war against Hazael, king of Syria, in Ramoth-Gilead, and the Syrians wounded Joram. King Joram went back to be healed in Jezreel of the wounds which the Syrians had given him at Ramah. When he fought against Hazael, king of Syria, Ahaziah, the son of Joram, king of Judah, went down to see Joram, the son of Ahab, in Jezreel, because he was sick. So there's a little back in time. It's saying that Joram died and Ahaziah reigned in his stead. But by the end of the verse, it says the king Joram is still alive. So there's a little time discrepancy at the end of chapter 8. So that was 7 and 8 of 2 Kings. I hope you enjoyed it.